Okay. So according to the Oracle of Bacon, yes, that is Kevin Bacon, there are approximately 1.5 million actors and actresses that are linkable to this individual. For these 1.5 million, the average degree separation is 2.981. For example, Madonna was in Dick Tracy with Dustin Hoffman, who was in Sleepers with Kevin Bacon. Then we have The Rock, who was in The Game Plan with Keira Sedgwick, who is also married to Kevin Bacon, but is in the story of a girl from Kevin Bacon. Natalie Portman was in Mars Attacks with Sarah Jessica Parker, who was in Footloose with Kevin Bacon. So we can all see that this is pretty amazing that we're all connected within 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. This all started with the 6 degrees of separation, of course, which is the theory that everyone in the world is connected by 6 degrees. So this presentation will talk about how you can use this concept for networking. And there's a very important concept that I want you all to take away from this presentation, that it's not who you know, but who you interact with and who knows you. So this is me. I am actually connected within 3 degrees of Kevin Bacon. So John Denver was my grandmother's third cousin. His name is John Dusseldorf, who was in Oh God with John Astin. I have no idea who this man is. And who was in She's Having a Baby with Kevin Bacon. So I am awesome because I am connected with Kevin Bacon. Would you all agree with that? I think I'm pretty amazing. So this theory basically has progressed into a number of different things, but there is a reality. So Stanley Milgram, some of you have heard of this if you're professionals in the field. In the 1960s and 70s, he did a study about the 6 degrees of separation. However, there is only 29% of the population that is actually a part of this equation. Ivan Meisner, who is an author, actually did a bunch of research worldwide and said you can actually be a part of the 29% if you work diligently with reading, training, coaching, and working with people to develop your skills. So networking and unicorns have a lot in common. Firedog talks about how spam, you can recognize what spam is, you don't know necessarily what's inside. So unicorns and networking, everyone can understand what that is, but until you understand the pieces of it, some of it that you can see up there, it's very hard to understand. So some statistics here. 15% of customers switch products to get a lower price. 15% find a better product, but 70% actually leave a company or leave a product because of the personal interaction. So what is a network? A network is really a sharing of what you have in a meaningful way with a group of people. It's the cultivation of professional relationships, and it can act as role models, advisors, and people that you interact with entertainment or even in needing a ride to work. However, this is really hard to see, but this is kind of what we define as our network. You can see on the very side, on the right-hand side, social networking is what we kind of have thought of what our network is. And we define ourselves by our tweets, by our YouTube videos, and we think that we're very connected. So this is my network. I have 900 friends on Facebook. Woohoo! I'm part of the International Women's Fraternity, 200,000 sisters. And CU, I work there. But do I really have 233,900 connections? Can I really call them part of my network? I would probably say no. So you kind of have to get out of this idea that your social network is not your quality network. My favorite up here is I find Facebook boring. I don't give a rat's ass about most people in my past, which, you know what, I don't really either, but we kind of think that our connections with Facebook and YouTube and Twitter is something that we call a connection, and that's one of our biggest mistakes. So you can kind of read these. I won't go through all of them, but one of my favorite things here is don't assume that your credentials are power. If I got up here and told you that I was president of my sorority, I was the new member educator, I'm now a Greek advisor, I've been president of our alumni association, would you be impressed? I'm not impressed. However, I am impressed with my relationships that I have with individuals that I can connect with students, and I follow up. I network 24/7. I have a very positive attitude. I work my network with all that I have. So anytime that I have this opportunity to interact with anyone, I try to say, can this person be in my network? So there's 2 types I want to talk to you about. There's strategic and serendipity. Sometimes you plan your network. I want to get to know the head of the NIC, or AFLV, or AFA, all these acronyms. But there's also these serendipitous relationships. When you're in an airport, you're wearing your letters, someone taps you on the shoulder and said, I'm a sister too. We've heard this from other speakers. So one thing that this conversation, I want you to take away, is escaping the convention. The convention is really that it was one way, and this is how we have our leadership network now. It's very intentional, it's in depth, it's long-term, it's providing resources, it's providing a forum of discussion, and I want to challenge you to kind of forget what you know about everything. So my advice to students is go the extra mile. Don't underestimate the power of your fraternity and sorority experience, and be brave. That's probably the best one up here. Also, send a thank you note. Follow up with everyone in your connection. If you receive a business card, follow up with them, because that's the most important. For my professionals in the room, go the extra mile, but strive for balance, because you'll start to resent your job. Be a value-added friend. Be a change agent. And again, volunteer for national organizations. Volunteer to do something crazy like this. Send a thank you note, and of course, follow up with everything you can. So like I posited at the beginning, it's not who you know or even who knows you. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not who you know or even, oh, I'm getting really nervous up here. But who knows you? It's talking about, don't get this in your mind that you're a huge, big deal. It's something that you have to start right now and be very intentional, but be open to having a very serendipitous relationship. And don't wait for someone to come to you. You need to go to them. Thank you.